Hi everyone, Amy here from Amy's Wares, and today I have a birthday card to share with you. This is the birthday celebration stencil. This is a new one from A Colorful Life Designs, and this is the Marvelous Masks Star set stencils, and that is from previous release from A Colorful Life Designs. So I'm going to use these together to create a fun and simple birthday card. I'm going to use some ink pads from Catherine Pooler as well as my blending brushes. These are from the Rabbit Hole Designs, but sadly they're discontinued. And I'm going to start off by just doing some simple ink blending with the largest star from this Marvelous Mask stencil set. Now, Colorful Life Designs has so many different Marvelous Mask sets, and they are some of my absolute favorite because they are so versatile. So you can use the inner portion, the outer portion, and you can use them with other stencils like I'm going to be doing today. And the possibilities are truly endless. So I will link some other ways that I've used these innovative stencils in the video description box below if you want to check those out, and I'll also link to the shop where you can see all the different options that she has for these innovative stencils, because they are truly so much fun to play with. So to start, I wanted this star shape to not kind of get lost in the shuffle, and I knew if I layered it up with the next one that it wouldn't really clearly show the star shape. So I'm just coming in with some light ink blending just to kind of lay down the shape of the star, and then I lay this new celebration stencil on top of it and come in with kind of a richer, darker color. And as I'm going through, I'm like, I want to do different colors. So I thought, I'm going to get my little blending brushes. Now, these are also from the Rabbit Hole Designs, and these are still available, and these are so much fun. They have these little containers to keep them separate and little ways to kind of hang them up. So all sorts of different storage options. But I love these for getting in the little tight nooks and crannies with my stencils. And you might see that my blend isn't the greatest when I lay it down, but it never ceases to amaze me that when I'm done with it, it always ends up looking watercolored somehow. And I don't know how it happens, but it keeps happening every single time. And I love how it looks. It seriously looks like somehow like I watercolored it. So if you're using little brushes like this and you don't get the best blend, don't stress, because it'll probably end up looking like a really pretty whimsical watercolor in the end anyway. So I'm just kind of working through a palette of colors that I chose here, and then you can see I'm a little underwhelmed. I'm not, excuse me, I'm not super happy with this. I don't like that, the white doesn't really stand off very much from the star. So I decided to get the inner portion of the star, and you can see I'm turning it and turning it and turning it until I get it lined up right. But I finally got it sorted, and I used that inner portion of the star to cover up what I just ink blended. And then I decide I want to give it like a yellow glow around the outside of it. So I get some yellow and kind of a corally orange, and I go around the outside and I give that star a glow, just to really kind of help it pop off the page a little bit. Now, what's interesting with using the inner mask and outer mask on this is sometimes, and I found this with the edger stencils, which is another amazing type of stencil that you can find in the shop, but I found that if it shifts a little bit, it gives you almost a little bit of a white edge, and then it looks like you have layered it. It's a happy little accident. It's a total Bob Ross moment. But if it shifts on you and gives you that little bit of white line, people will swear that you've got actual layers of paper on there, because it really gives it that dimension, but it's just an illusion. So I love that. It's an unexpected benefit of these masking stencils. So I feel like I like this a lot better now. I feel like the star is really kind of popping off the page. I'm just adding a little bit more orange just to really help it have that difference from the background. And you can see in the finished card, it really looks like I've layered up that star on the background, but I haven't. It's just a single layer. So again, just a fun byproduct of using these masking stencils, or even like the edger stencils. So now I decide I want some more contrast. So now I go back to the outer portion of the star and line that back up again. And then I'm just using some residual ink on my blending brushes and just adding a little bit more color. I know that I'm going over the little portions of the little elements inside the stencil, but I don't really mind because I want to add more color and really help that star pop off the page. So at this point I'm happy with it, and then I decide I want to add some more interest, so I get a white gel pen and then start adding little, you know, hand-drawn details on it, little stripes or polka dots or hearts, as well as little highlights on the cake itself. So if you ever feel like your card is missing something, then maybe get out a white gel pen and see if you can add some, I don't know, maybe little white splatter dots or little polka dots or stripes onto some element of your card, and you'd be surprised what a difference just a little touch like that can make to your card. So that's definitely an option if you feel like your card is missing something. So haul out that gel pen and go to town and see if you can get the card more how you picture it. So just kind of adding some polka dots on this little blue present on the left, and kind of working through the image just to kind of add some interest to it. Add some to this little crown on the bottom, and this looked like a little flower, so I'm adding some little dots on the inside and little highlights on all these little dots. So I'm just kind of adding highlights to the frosting and onto the cake tray. Really going to town with the coloring here, but then I decide I want to trim down the panel a little bit and give it a little bit of a finished look. So I have these stitched rectangle dies from Paper Rose, and I'm using some low tack tape here to kind of hold it down, and I take it off screen and run it through my die cutting machine. Now this does bring the panel down a little bit in size, so I just lined it up so it didn't take away too much of the star, but it will give it that nice white border on the edge of my A2 size card base. And then here, this is my sentiment book. I'm kind of looking through to see what sentiment I want to add. I know it's a birthday card, so just kind of looking at my options here. I have this little gold glittery one, but I kind of already have in mind the one that I want to use. I just wanted to, you know, kind of play around with my options and see what I wanted. But I have this stamped and already die cut out happy birthday sentiment. And like I said, I will link all the products that I used in the video description box below if you expand and scroll down. Then I'm just going to use some adhesive and attach this panel directly to the card base. It's a 110-pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, just like the panel. So it's still nice and flat, even though it looks like it has a bunch of layers. It really only has that one layer. And then I decided to use, I was going to use liquid glue here, but then I decided to use my sticker maker and run it through here. I did kind of have it a little cockamamie on there, so I bent it up a little bit, but it didn't damage it too bad. So this is just a nice alternative. If you have something small that you need to apply adhesive to, you can use this little sticker maker and it'll apply nice even dimension, or not dimension, but adhesion onto the back. And then I'm using my little pokey tool to kind of get rid of that residual adhesive that kind of sticks off the edge. And then I lay that down on the card, and it's nice and flat, but it's stuck really well because that sticker maker applies the adhesive all the way to the whole back of what you put through there. So then I have some blingage here. These are just some iridescent clear sequins, and I'm laying down some liquid glue in odd numbers, just little dots, and then take a larger size and smaller size and kind of give a little smattering of those along the front of the card to give it a little something else. So again, this is a birthday themed release for A Colorful Life Designs. There's tons of birthday goodness. So if you need to make birthday cards, you don't want to miss this release. So be sure to check it out, and don't forget my coupon if you shop, because you will save 10% on your complete order. So here's the finished card. Still pretty low profile. It does have that one layer, but overall it should be easy to ship. So I hope you enjoyed my card today. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I appreciate you watching. I'll check you next time. Bye.